All right, hey everyone. Let's do a run cycle this time, and this run cycle is going to be a little more cartoony. We're going to go with the Preston Blair run cycle, whereas before we did the Animator's Toolkit. So the Preston Blair has a lot more of a very cartoony look about it. However, Preston Blair doesn't write down any keyframes about where you can put them. So we had to do some adjustments to it. It's also a little bit shorter. It goes down to 20 frames instead of 24 frames. So let's take a look at it. So here he is from the side. Looks pretty cute. And here he is from the front. All right, so let's make this guy happen. So let's make sure it's saved. Let's new the scene. Let's create a reference. And of course, remember all the stuff that we did with the walk cycle about creating references. I don't want to go over that stuff again. And then remember also that we're going to do two panes side by side. I always like to have the perspective on the right and the right side on the left side. So let's also look at what the image of a run cycle could look like. So I made some modifications to the Preston Blair run cycle. There's not really good names for them, so I just gave them some kind of, I don't know, temporary names. But we can think of the contact is really the biggest one, and the down and passing are kind of mixed together. And then there's three up versions. So the up with a lot of run cycles is, it spends a lot of time in the air. So there's kind of the up, or maybe the takeoff, I guess you could call it. And then there's the jump, or going up, and then the coming down. So it could be takeoff, going up, and coming down. Could also be much better names. So you'll notice also that it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 instead of, 1, 4, 7, 10, and 13. So again, we have the contact and the contact. This is 1 and 11, and then we just reverse it for 11 through 21. So that means then that it's going to be every other keyframe that we're gonna have it done. So it's basically just like the walk cycle. We do the first and the last, and the middle. We flip the middle, and then we just set up his. Well, of course we set that up. Then we just do the next pose, copy it over, and the next pose, copy it over, and then we touch it up. So let's give a shot at this and see what happens. So to start with, I'm looking at our run cycle dude. Incidentally, another thing I was noticing is that we can also clean up a lot of stuff after we do our keyframing in the graph editor, and I can show how to do that. So we're going to do like what we had done before. Remember to keep that auto key off, and then we're going to select our right foot. Now the interesting thing about this one is that there's also a lot of rotating of the feet. So we still use the foot roll. I want to get that foot roll kind of thing going. And I'm going to make him, and remember you don't want to do that breaking of the knee, because that can cause some questionable behavior. So this one over here, if you look at, I have the start of it pretty good, but if you look at over here, his foot goes way back like that, so it's kind of pretty cartoony. If you see somebody running like that in real life, they're going to look pretty silly. But I'd give him props for looking silly, because far too many people are too serious. So anyway, so with this, we're going to actually have to rotate that foot instead of using the foot roll. So I'm going to put this back, and then I'm just going to rotate it like that and put it over like that. So he looks, that looks pretty nice and cartoonish. And let's, this time I'm going to bring his feet in at the beginning and see how this works for us. It may work, may not. Let's hope it does. So let's see, this one is 0.2, let's change it to 0.25. And then we'll change this one also to 0.25. Oop, no, we need to make it minus. Let's also add a heel twist on it, so it's splayed out just a little bit. Or cheated out, rather, is the theatrical term for it. Because not everybody runs with their feet or walks with their feet straight forward. And so the heel twist is 8.5 on the right foot, and I'm just going to put that, let's see, I don't know if it needs to be reversed with, no, it doesn't need to be reversed. All right, so we have that set. I think that's a good one. And then we'll select both of our prisms behind the feet, and we'll key it. So we have one. That's our good one. There's one, as an acquaintance of mine once used to say. And so then we so we have a total of, it's going to go to 21 frames, but 21 is the first is also the first one, so it should be 20 frames. So 21 is where we're going to put the last one. So let's go to 21, and we'll go over there, and then we'll key that also. And then our middle is 11. So just like the walk cycle, we have those three guys going, and nothing's happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip the left and right feet for the middle. So I go over here, I'm selecting the left foot, I copy it, I'm going to go to the right foot, and I paste it. All right, now I'm going to go back to 1, the right foot is still selected, which is good. I copy that, go to 11, go on to the left foot, and then I paste it. And now let's look at also the rotation. So, oop, wrong one. Okay, so we have him there. We go over here. Let's rotate him like that. And then we key that. All right, so now we have the basics. So it's going to look really funny. Whoa. Again, doesn't look like running. So we need to add some stuff to it. So that's a start. And now that we have 21 over here, we're just going to move it down like so we can have a good loop. Let's save it. All right, looking good. Let's do our kind of down and passing pose. So contact, down, passing, take off, going up, coming down. I kind of like those labels better. So we want to do 3. So 3 is like the down passing. And we'll get this guy, I'll move it back a little bit. We'll remove the foot roll. Then we'll, oh dear. See, I need to go up to 3. Now we're in the right spot. So with this, we remove the foot roll. We have to bring the foot down onto the ground. Let's remove the rotation. There we go. We kept the Z because we want to make sure that it's going, that we have the correct location. So basically with this second one, this down kind of passing, the foot is kind of directly underneath him. And then I'm going to take the middle of him and I'm going to bring him way down fairly, so he has a nice cartoony lowness to him over here with the third frame. And then I'm going to grab onto his left foot and give it a cartoony passing. So, and I say cartoony because this isn't too terribly realistic. That should be about right. We could rotate it just a tiny bit more to get some variation. I may move this guy back just a little bit more to give him some momentum. Alright, that looks good. So I'll click on the middle control shape. Now notice I can't find the prism on the back for his left foot, so I have to go into wireframe mode. You press 4 to do that, and that will let you see through the whole thing. And make sure that we have the middle selected. Middle, left, right, and then we'll key that. Now, I want to move these guys forward. Make sure we don't have any issues with the knees. Correct. Those feet need to be in. Select wireframe, back, middle. We'll key that. All right, so now if we look at this guy with his run, we have these elements. That looks pretty cute. All right, so we have the down. Now let's do the kind of takeoff thing for frame 5. Oh no, actually let's not do that. Let's bring the down onto the other side. So we have, let's select the left foot and we'll copy that. We'll go on to 13. We'll select the right foot. We'll paste. And then we go into 3. We have the right foot selected. Copy. Go into 13. Select the left foot and paste. Now let's also go back here and let's select our positioning for the body, the middle control shape. Copy that. Go into 13. Paste it. And now we can fix the rotation of it afterward. Since I think over here we fixed the rotation there, so we'll basically just go in and we'll remove keyframes so that it looks the way we want it to look. So if we look over here, there we go. All right, so now we're going to do the little takeoff. So that's on 5, just like so. So we go to 5. And that needs a lot of work. So 5, let's get the foot. We want to remove the rotation of it. We want to bring it back to the ground. We want to move it backward. Now also with this one, we have a foot roll and a foot brake. And the takeoff is a little higher. It's It's getting up there. And then the other foot, we're going to rotate it back so it's starting to come up. That looks about right. Doesn't seem to have a whole lot of momentum in that pose, though. Let's see how he looks, though. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah. All right, so let's move that to the other foot. So let's do the control shape first. We have the middle control shape. Copy that. Go to 15. And paste it. Let's go to 5 and we'll select the left leg. We'll copy that. Go to 15. Select the right leg and paste it. We go to 5. We have the right leg selected. We copy. Go to 15. Select the left leg. We paste it. All right, so we're good there. And now we have kind of the takeoff or the going up. No, that's the takeoff. This is the going up. So this one's going to be super exaggerated. We'll have fun with that. And he's going to be pretty high in the air. And that's 7. So let's move him up a lot. Let's go to our foot over here. Let's remove the foot roll and the foot brake. And then, of course, we're going to just rotate it. Remember, don't break the knees. And then we're also going to give it a little bit of a cartoony location for this. Now, notice how it's kind of in his body there, so we want to kind of avoid that. Let's move it back, though. And rotate it up. There we go. That looks sufficiently cartoony. The only thing that would help with the cartoony nature of it is if we did a toe roll, which we'll do eventually. So I like that pose. I'll key that. And then let's select the main control shape and copy it. I'll put it on 17. We'll paste it. We'll select over here. Go back to 7. Select the left foot. Copy. Go to 17. We'll select the right foot. We'll paste it. We'll go back to 7. We have the right foot selected. 17. Left foot. Paste. All right, so 7, 17 looks good. Let's check them out. Oop, wrong one. Doom, 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 doom. Look at him in the air. Now the only problem with this is you can see that his foot goes through the ground. So we're not going to have to worry about that too much. One of the things that can fix for that is using the graph editor. I believe that should fix it. Let's not worry about it so much. It's just a basic run cycle. So we could just leave it like that, because it comes over here and goes down. But we want to do something like with this coming down. Notice how the coming down thing, his leg is super extended. So we want to have a little bit of fun with that, and also his back leg comes up. in a very cartoony fashion. So we want to play with that also. So 7, 9. Let's get that that funny back leg. That's like way up here. And then let's get this funny front leg that's all ready to come down. And then we'll move it up like that. Remember also, like, that if you try to do stuff that's a little too subtle, it's just not going to come through. Sometimes you have to be a little bit of an overactor in order to be able to, really get your idea across. And then we'll key that. All right, so I like that one. So let's select the left foot. We'll go to 19, and we'll select the right foot, and we'll paste it. And then we'll go to 9, and we have the right foot selected. We copy it, go to 19, select the left foot, and we'll paste it. Okay, I think I did the wrong thing there. So this is for the left, from the left foot, it's going to go into the right foot. There we go. Paste. All right. Wait, now I think the back foot needs to be different. Yeah. So our back foot needs to be better. So the left foot, which is the right foot over here. Sorry. See, this is what happens when you get distracted. There we go. All right. Now let's also make sure that the height of this guy is the right spot. So I click on the middle control shape, copy, 19, and then we paste. So how would this work in a real life situation, as real life as one can get, where you're animating a character in a walk cycle going forward? Which is a good question. Thank you for asking that, Morgan. Hey, no problem. So you can't always just go around copying from one to the next, copying from one to the next. I think what would happen when you guys start to do like a walk cycle going forward is you're not necessarily going to copy from one to the next, but you're going to actually move it to that spot and know exactly where the spot is that you want it to go to. So you're going to explicitly move all of the feet. So if you have a character that's walking forward and stopping, whatever, you're going to do a pose to pose kind of thing. But having done like a very simple, straightforward walk cycle and run cycle like this enables you to understand just what the cycle can look like and what you need to do. So a little bit of a vague answer, but I think that that's the general gist of what it'll be like. So let's see how he looks when we walk him or run him. So there he is. He looks adorable. Look at that. He's really running. All right, so we talked a little bit about simplifying the graph editor. So this is a good thing to know how to do. Let's look at the middle control shape. So our middle control shape, the things that we have keyed mainly are the Y and the rotational values. So we have Y, it's only there we go. Okay, so we can see that he's going down, he's coming up, he's going down, but you notice that he's going down here, he comes up. This one we really don't have to key, so we could actually get rid of this keyframe here, coming up, and the equivalent over here. So this simplifies our graph editor. And this is the main one where he's going up and he's coming down. So if you want to make sure that this has a nice smooth going from up to down, we just get rid of these guys. Of course, we still have this over here. So now we see he's kind of a little bit more rounded in his movement. So I can get rid of this one. So if we watch him go, it's pretty nice and smooth. We can do this also for any rotational values. So rotational values here, interesting. I notice he should rotate, he should go, this is 11. There we go. So we want to get rid of these guys, and then we want to get rid of these guys. So now we have a go rotating from one section down there. So we might have to do that for the other ones as well. Does that make sense? This way we don't have to worry about keying every single thing, and we get it a whole lot more smooth. So each one is going to look nice and round, just like that. And things that are like this, that are totally flat, another way to clean that up is just remove all the keys here. We can remove that one. We want that. We can remove the keys there. So now we have a lot more of a clean animation. Now the other things that we can also do in order to get him to, for like a little bit of a cleanup, make sure you save it, is that we could give him some of the foot flap. So let's see what we could do here. Let's click on to the left foot. And how are we going to want to do that? Let's look here. He doesn't show too much of a foot flap, except you can see it right there. So we can kind of exaggerate it. So let's start with the foot flap. We go, and that's the toe roll. So let's put that there. Let's key that. So I pressed S. And then let's do the back foot. And we're going to make it like that. Let's key that also. So now we changed the first frame, so we want to change the last frame. So I'm moving it out here so that I can select the prisms on back of the feet and copy both. Go to 21, paste both. Now we see the feet flapping up a little bit like that. Then let's bring this back down so we can have nice smoothness there. So let's go to the second one. So with this one, obviously we want him to be flat on the ground there, but the left foot we can still do something with. So let's make sure we have the left foot selected. Go on to the third frame, click on the toe roll, put it back there like that, key it. We still want to have that toe roll going with the left foot, so I'm going to put it back up here like this, and I'm going to key that. And so now with this one, his toe isn't really going to go up just yet. I think it's going to go up more when it goes there. So on 7, I'm going to bring the toe still down like that. May not work, I don't know. Let's also on the right foot figure out what he's doing. So over there like that. He's still, I think his foot might be straight. No, let's make it go back. And key that. Still don't like how the foot goes back, but don't be tempted to key that in the middle. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Alright, so there, and then with this coming down, let's have that left foot. We're going to really give a nice toe roll on that. And now with the right foot, I'm going to do the toe roll in the opposite direction. So it looks a little silly, but hey man, we're having fun, so that's what matters. Alright, so here's 11. Now we could try to copy these, but this is going to be, that would be a real pain and I don't think that we really want to mess with that too much. One thing that we could try to do is we could try to be super fancy, and we could look for toe roll in the graph editor. So if we look for toe roll, we could see these guys, and we could try to paste that into the other foot, to the other side. But you know what? Just to be safe, I'm just gonna animate it straight ahead and just try to remember what we did. Flapping down. Okay, so there's, let's see what our thing looks like. Yeah. So we're on 11. I'm going to make sure we're on that one. I'm going to move that guy up like that. I'm going to do this guy. And I think, before we do that, I'm going to key this guy. And then I'm going to look at his foot there. All right. And then here, I'm going to key the toe roll back there. Key that. And on the left foot, I'm going to do the toe roll back there. Key that. And the left foot still is going. I'm going to do the toe roll back there. And the left foot is still going to have the toe roll there. Key that. But I'm also going to key the toe roll for the back like that. And then he comes up here. Now when I was up here, yeah, I really exaggerated that. And then just before the end on 9, I did that. Alright, so with this guy, I'm going to get that toe roll and go like that. Okay, so now we should have a little bit of fun. Look at that flapping. That's so cute. Save that. Now what we could also do is we could mess with the bouncing effect. So if he's going up here, he's coming down, and let's start. So if he's gonna be over here, let's say this is your default, and then over here we want him to be stretched, and up here we want him to be squished, and over here we're gonna really squish him, and when he's coming down we want him to be up a little, and then we're back to 11, which should be normal. So we're gonna key this one, copy that, go to 11, and paste that. So we could also get rid of this key and this key. We can make a nice little flow like that. See how that works? Yeah, amazing, Morgan. How did you think of that? And then we could actually copy these. Remember, copy and paste does not work the same way in Maya, but every once in a while it does work right. But it's just in the graph editor that it does this. So now we have this nice little kind of sine wave-ish thing. I could also even get rid of this guy, but we have to still keep that. And this will make it really be a nice little sine wave. And let's see what happens. Well, look at that. That's so cute. Oh, so neat. If you can't make yourself laugh, you can't make anybody else laugh. Although Mark Twain said, there is no humor in heaven. All right, so we're all set there, and super easy. And a neat little run cycle. There's all kinds of run cycles that you can find in the Preston Blair book, in the Animator Survival Kit, but there's also a lot of references to walks and just little unique kind of walks that people are doing for references on YouTube just of themselves. So if you want to do a walk cycle or something like that, find an image for it, calculate where the frames are going to be, where the main contact is. It's tricky to do them. It seems at first, when I first started doing them, I was like, yeah, that's super easy. And then I started doing it, and it was I was like, whoa, this is a little harder than I thought. Like the double bounce, that can be a little tricky. The skipping can also be a little difficult to do, but you have to just analyze what it looks like, and once you get it down, then it's you're like, oh yeah, that totally makes a lot of sense. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.